And there is Terence Bud Crawford speaking his piece about his career. And he is on the hunt. And let me counterpunch. I think for the people that he claims that hates to see him at the top, I think that's a true statement. But I also think that's the saving grace. That's the silver lining of Crawford, because I think Crawford fought, and I think he thrived so hard because people were against him. I think that if they weren't, I feel that the more you give someone concessions, the less hungry and ambitious they become. The less you do that, the more ambitious. And I think this has helped Terence Crawford. You know, him saying that I'm on the hunt, you know, and it's always been this way. And the people, you know, they tried to block him from every angle, yet he still came up on top. When God is with you, who can be against you? When God is with you, who else would you ever need, or what else would you ever need? You don't need anything else, but your grit and everything are something that you've always had. You know, and with Terence Crawford going up against Canelo Alvarez, I see a lot of people changing their tune. I've never changed my tune about that fight. I always seen Canelo having problems with those type of fighters. So it's never been different for me, but some people are changing their mind, and I think it's best that we should realize that the hungrier you are, or the hungrier you stay, the better you perform. You know what I mean? The more you will do, because you know what's at stake, because you know everybody's against you. You know, that Floyd Mayweather knew that everybody, you know, not saying everyone, but a lot of people that were in very high places did not want to see him come out of the sport undefeated. You know, that's one thing that I knew that was the case. Okay, and I didn't understand it until later, but found out, hey, you know, they really hate this dude, and not because, you know, he's a hell of a fighter. It's because of other things that he has nothing to do with. He can't do anything about the reason you don't like him. And I think Bud is in the same boat. I think Bud is a guy that, you know, a lot of people either don't want to give him credit, make excuses of why he won a fight, would rather diminish or downgrade the performance or the fighter that he fought than to give him credit. Well, I say this, keep doing it, because if you want something that you've never had, you got to do something that you've never done. However, if the things that you did always worked, why stop doing them? I think it gets bad if you get what you wanted and he gets the people that were against him and then for him. I don't think that that would help Terence Bud Crawford much, you know. But in any event, I think he's a special fighter, and I think, you know, he will show that this upcoming month with Canelo Alvarez, which it will be something to see if he rises or falls. Because Canelo Alvarez is a tough mofo, but I will say this. The evidence of him being hungry is still there. I'm on the hunt, and I'm thinking, are you on the last hunt? What happens if he beats Canelo Alvarez? What happens then? Does he then stop hunting? Will he get less hungry? Will he keep fighting? You know, that's the things that I want to know after that, because according to this post, he says, I'm on the hunt, like I'm hunting not for just Canelo, but for other fighters as well. Well, if you make it all the way to 168, what are you going to do? Pull a Roy Jones Jr. and go back down to 154? Or are you going to stay at 168 and start taking on the monsters up there? You know, or are you going to try something crazy like Sugar Ray Leonard did or Roy Jones Jr. did? Needless to say, you know, well, Sugar Ray was around the same size. He wasn't a big dude, but he did go to 175 and surprised a lot of people where people thought that that was crazy. You know, so I don't know. I mean, that's just really left a big question mark there. But the post was very interesting. You guys tell me what you think of Terence Bud Crawford saying that he is on the hunt. If God's with me, who can be against me? Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.